Hello, welcome. Welcome to this evening's show. I am just going to plug my laptop into charge because it's on 47%, but doing a live show really, whatchamacallit, zaps the charge. Bong! How are we doing today? Welcome. Welcome to the live show. Let me just do my tweet. And if you guys want to tweet too that I'm doing a live show, I would be hugely appreciative. Got to skip that wonky today. Come over and join me on YouNow. Nattering away as usual. So I'm trying out a new lipstick today. It's a Lottie London one. I literally bought it about an hour ago. And I really like it. Really like it. It's called Vibes. I think it's a new one. Like a new... like they've got a new range out or something. Didn't really pay attention, I'll be honest, when I was picking it. I checked it and went, yeah, that one please. When's Scottifer coming? Scottifer arrived last night. And he went straight off to rehearsals today. But this evening he is seeing Christmas Carol at the Lyceum Theatre, which is the same one that I was in last year. But I had a full-on day of filming and sits probing today for the Christmasaurus. So I decided to give it a miss. And just come home and just to be a human for an evening. Just get my life here organised. It is freezing in here. I have a blanket on my lap. But the thing is that I've got a blanket that when I'm sat down like this, it'll either cover my arms or my feet. Not both. I'm going to go put a jumper on. I'll be back in a minute. Give me a second. Bye. I mean, I will be back in a second. I say bye. It's not really bye. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm back. I now have a jumper on. That's cosy. Oh. There we go. Arms are covered. And my feet are now covered by the blanket. And I have a cup of tea. This is an amazing evening. This is the Ollie blanket. The big one, just when I'm sat up like this. I like either having it over my shoulders like that, in which case it doesn't cover my feet, or I have it on my lap covering my feet. I was thinking of possibly going through some letters whilst I'm sat here doing this live show. Kill two birds with one stone. But I don't know how well I can concentrate doing both. I don't think I can multitask to that degree. Ooh, a little bit tired as well. So, tickets were released today for an extra 2 shows at Cadogan Hall. I still don't know how to say it, but that hall that I'm doing a concert at, 2 more shows have been added on April the 1st. This isn't an April Fool's joke. It would be an extremely extravagant April Fool's if it was. 2 more dates have been added. So go to my Twitter if you want to get tickets for that if you missed out the first time. So I'm now doing a matinee and an evening show on the Saturday 31st of March, and then a matinee and an evening show on April the 1st. Sorry about the yawning. I'm quite tired. Sorry. All shows are in London. long day? Yeah, it was quite a long day. Well, it was 10 till 5. Just spat everywhere. 10 till 5. But for the rest of this week's a long one because we've got tech, which means getting in at 1, but we don't finish until 10. And you know, it's all like high-end stuff. So, you know, climbing up giant set pieces and doing extravagant dance routines, you know, all that jazz. All that casual stuff. All that casual day at the office stuff. Scott isn't here at the moment. He is seeing a show tonight. And yeah, I think it is still jet lag, Lara. I think it is still jet lag. I'm still not quite back to normal. I think this week's going to be hard because at the moment I'm getting up early and going to bed early. Like, I'm ready for bed in about 2 hours. But tomorrow I sort of need to get up as late as I can because I know I'll be going to bed around midnight, 1 o'clock. I won't be getting home until then. So yeah, I kind of need to go home as quickly as possible. What am I saying? What am I saying? I need to get up as late as possible tomorrow. That's how tired I am. Words are just pouring out of my mouth. I'm not really thinking it through. What's up with the lighting? There's lots of like either or questions going on, like Eponine or Wednesday, the Addams Family or the Christmasaurus. They're hard questions to answer like that. I don't think it's as black and white as that. Sorry to get all like philosophical on you, but yeah, I don't think it's as black and white as that. Like, there's things about Eponine that I loved and hated, and there's things about Wednesday that I loved and hated. Oh, A Certain Slant of Light. That's such a good book. I need to read it again, but I think I left my copy of it. Like, my copy of it just vanished, and I'm pretty sure I left it in my locker, in my sixth form locker for that 1 month that I went to sixth form. I'm pretty sure I left it in that locker. I don't think I cleared it out properly. Sadly. I can't stop yawning. I am so sorry. So sorry. Oh. Yes, I did go to sixth form for 1 month. 1 whole glorious month. How am I spending New Year's? I have no idea. I think Scott's here, so we will probably do something together, I hope. Otherwise, I'm literally just sat in my flat on my own for New Year's. Which would be a little bit sucky. Scott won't be celebrating Christmas with me. He goes home on Christmas Eve, or he goes... I don't know when he goes home. He either goes home on the 23rd or the 24th. But he's got Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day off. So he'll be going home to see his family. I think I have Christmas Day and Boxing Day off, and then go back on the 27th. And then Scott and Ollie are coming to watch the Christmasaurus on the 28th, which is good. I'm trying to push my glass up with a pen, and it's just not worth the effort. Olivia H. Yes, I can say your name. Hello. How are you? I am going to try and go through some letters whilst I'm sat here. I might as well kill 2 with 1 stone. I just don't know how efficient I'm going to be at it. I might only get like 2 letters done in this live stream. Is this a little bit laggy? It feels a bit laggy to me. Oh. Oh no. What am I doing? My eyelashes look huge today. Which ancestor would you be if you had the choice, and why? I'd probably be Prudence Adams, because her costume was the best and her wig was the best, and she's British, and I think I'd be a British ancestor. Yeah, my Disney Christmas tree. It's a very, very Disney Christmas tree. Which ghost in A Christmas Carol would you be? Past, probably. That's a really good question. I like that question. Yeah, I think I'd be Ghost of Christmas Past, because I don't think I'm present enough. Like I think I dwell too much on the past to be the Ghost of Christmas Present, and the Ghost of Christmas Future freaks me out. The Ghost of Christmas Future was always like really loose. Though I did play the Ghost of Christmas Future in A Christmas Carol at the Lyceum this time last year. But I think I'd be the Ghost of Christmas Past. I'm constantly like, what if? What if I'd said that? What if I'd done that? What if? So I think I'm destined to be the Ghost of Christmas Past, sadly. I'm trying to fix this lighting. It feels, I just want more light. There we go. Did your family put clementines in your Christmas stockings when you were younger? We had satsumas. Not quite clementines, we had satsumas. But yes. Some kind of citrus fruit, yes. If you could only listen to one band or artist for the rest of your life, who would it be? Probably My Chemical Romance. I love them so much. Like, I love their music. And they've got a lot of albums, so, you know, if I've got to listen to them for the rest of time, then there's a decent amount going. There's a decent amount of stuff there to listen to. Sorry, I'm just going to plug in my Christmas lights to see if that helps with the lighting at all. That's one set. There we go. Well, probably won't help with the lighting, but it looks prettier. Which Broadway show are you really looking forward to coming to the UK? I really want Anastasia to come over just because I love that show, or I love that movie and musical so much. I really want that to come over. Sorry, I'm just closing a few things on my laptop to try and make the lag not as bad. Wow, thank you so much, Casey Cosins. That's a great name. Casey Cosins, you are now the #1 fan. Thank you ever so much. I really want Waitress to come over as well, because that's an amazing musical. Oh, I'm so sorry about the yawning, all the yawning. Did you film a cover of You Matter to Me with Oliver? We meant to. We were supposed to, because that was the original one that we said in rehearsals that we were going to cover. Thank you very much, Philip. Thank you very much. Yeah, we said that we'd cover You Matter to Me, and that got replaced with Us. We were like, oh, we've got to cover Only Us because that's an amazing song. And then we got obsessed with Crowd of Thousands, and it just so happened that was the one that we were obsessed with when we decided to actually sit down and film a cover. I'd love to play Miss Honey one day. I can't imagine it being a very fulfilling role because I just don't think she's in it enough. But I think it's such a wonderful part, and the song, "This is my house, this is my house. It isn't much, but it is enough for me." The song's so gorgeous. Like, I'd love to sing that every night. Maybe one day, who knows? I'm definitely rocking the Miss Honey look right now. Yeah, I need to do a cover with Scott. Again, back in rehearsals, all that time ago, like 9 months ago, back in March, we did work on a cover of "Tale as Old as Time." Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I think we did actually do it in a video once, in a live stream once. Yeah, we just never got around to it. It's because when we do it down and we're like, oh, we've got, an hour or evening to do nothing, or a day to do nothing, no one wants to sing because that's our job. No one wants to sing more than they need to because everyone wants to just save their voices or just not do what their job requires them to do. They just want time off from it. Have I seen Lady Bird? No, but I'm really intrigued by the trailer. Would you ever do a role without singing or a big song? I'd definitely do a role without singing. Like, I'd definitely... I mean, I would do a play. I don't think I'd do a musical and play a role where I wasn't singing. And again, I don't think I'd ever be in a musical where I wasn't required to use my voice to the most of its capabilities. I feel like that would be a but yeah, I'd love to do a play. I'd love to do a play one day. Did you expect your voice to change much over the next 10 years? Oh, do I expect my voice to change much over the next 10 years? I assume so. That's kind of just what happens. And if you listen to covers from when I first started my YouTube channel, and if you listen to covers now, my voice has changed a lot. Like, my voice is so much deeper. Just from the age of 19 to 25, my voice is so much deeper. So I expect it will change even more over the next however many years. What little things that you miss from spending every day with Scott and Oliver, if you had to name a few? I don't laugh as much when they're not around. Like, Scott and Oliver make me laugh so much. That is one thing. That is the way to my heart. That is the way that you ensure you become a lifelong friend. If you can make me laugh, properly ugly face, belly laugh every day, I will want to spend all of my time with you. Because I love laughing, and I love laughing so much. And Scott and Oliver both make me laugh ridiculous amounts. So I miss that. What else do I miss? I miss cooking with people, and I miss cooking for people, or having someone else cook for me. I enjoy the act of cooking with friends, even if it's just me cooking and then I serve it to them. I really enjoy giving friends food that I've cooked, things that I've baked, and vice versa. I like friends who cook and then share it with me. I miss that. I miss cooking with them. Yeah. And I just miss just cozy things. I miss going back to our digs with them and putting the Great British Bake Off on, and all of us just sidling up on sofas with blankets and pillows and stuff, and tea and dinner, and just chatting and being stupid. I really miss all of that. If you were an elf in Santa's workshop, what job would you have? Don't know. Don't know what job I'd have. I'd probably stand in the corner singing, making sure everyone's Christmas cheer was on its like top form. Because the best way to spread Christmas cheer is sing loud for all to hear. So I reckon that'd be my job. I'd stand in the corner and sing Christmas carols all day. I haven't seen Rob Houchin in a little while, no, but we do text every now and again. I always get a message from him every couple of weeks, just checking in, saying hi. Congratulations, Courtney, on your merit and distinction in your media coursework. Well done. Hard work pays off. What happened to Dear Tom and G? Dear Tom will be coming back, I promise. It just got overtaken by Watch Me Wednesday. That became more of a project than I ever expected it to be. Is there a Disney blog that didn't come out? I've been wondering for months. There were lots of videos. Yeah, essentially. I filmed a lot the last time I was in the time before I was in Disney when I was with Pete. I filmed a lot, but it took me so long to edit and upload them that we broke up like halfway through editing those videos, so I just never really uploaded the rest. Because I felt like it just wouldn't be appropriate. Like, I left the ones up that was memories of a time that I had and really enjoyed. And even though Pete and I aren't together anymore, we still had that holiday and we still had those memories. It was a nice holiday, and it's nice to have those memories there. So I'll never delete them off my channel. But it felt a little bit odd to keep uploading videos of us being like all coupley and cutesy when we weren't together anymore. But we're still friends, we still message every now and again. We still get on. But that's why like the other Disney videos didn't go up. But Emma G, yes, I do have a Disney trip planned for next year. And I'm trying to convince either Scott or Ollie to come with me. Yeah. I love showing Disney to know Disney that well. I love it. I love introducing someone to Disney and watching them experience my favourite place on the planet. So yeah. Am I planning to seeing Hamilton? Am I planning on seeing Hamilton? I have no plans at the moment, but I will like to. I do really want to see it. I can't speak today. My brain's not working as my mouth is. Yeah, I have no plans to see it, but I do really want to see it. And when I have more time next year, I definitely will go and see it. Saying that, hoping that I do have more time next year. Will the material be the same on both days at Cadogan Hall? I don't know. Yes, it will. It'll be the same show, 4 shows in a row. like any show. like Les Mis does to another in the same way that my show won't. Would you rather do Strictly? Probably Strictly. I don't like the idea of being desperately hungry for too long, or putting kangaroo testicles in my mouth. I'd rather dance. Would you ever go back to Eponine? I don't think I would. I say I don't think I would. It depends, but I don't think I would. I'd really like to play Fontaine one day. That'd be nice. Do you have a next big job lined up for next year, or are you auditioning at the moment? I don't have anything for next year at the moment. I have a couple of things for next year. Nothing that I can talk about at the moment. But there's no, I'm not going to be in, another West End show or a tour next year. Not that I know of, as of yet. I've had a few auditions, but not heard back from anything yet. I know there's a couple of things that I'm still waiting to hear back from. But I'm just looking forward to being author next year. Doing a show and writing a book is hard. It's really, really hard. It's harder than I think I've ever admitted before, or ever really talked about before. It's hard. Because doing a show, it's especially like Addams Family, it's so high energy that when you do wake up at, say, 11 o'clock in the morning, you just want to chill out. You just want to not have to do any work until you go to work in the evening. In the same way that when someone goes to during the day, when they come home, they don't want to do more work. They want to sit and chill out and watch TV. My days just switched because my job, is in the evening. So because the show is so high energy, you wake up feeling like you've been hit by a bus the night before. All your muscles ache. Your brain's a little bit fuzzy. So yeah, it's tough. Writing a book and doing a show at the same time is difficult. Doing one, but doing both, I don't know how I managed that. Twice. Technically 3 times. Technically 4 times. I've always been in a show when I've been writing a book, and this is my... What's the difference between a cover and a standby? Interesting question. A standby is usually not in the show. A standby is someone who comes to the theatre, does warm up, and then sits in the dressing room during the show, just in case they are needed. But a standby is usually the first person in line to go on for their role. So if you're standby Elphaba, if the person playing Elphaba goes off halfway through a show, you're on. You as the standby are on. A standby is not the same as a swing. Right. This is getting into serious. So a cover and an understudy, and right, this is difficult. So cover and understudy, same thing. Cover and understudy, just interchangeable words for the same thing. But we always, I haven't heard the term understudy in a long time. We always say cover. First cover, second cover, third cover. So the covers are usually in the show. They are part of the ensemble, and they are in the show every night. Not all shows have standbys, though. Okay. Confusing. So with Les Mis, there are no standbys. It's just covers. So the covers for all of the principal roles are in the ensemble. They are in the show every single night doing doing their own ensemble tracks. And then if the person playing Eponine goes off, the first cover will go on, and then a swing will cover the first cover's track. Because, so say this is the person playing Eponine, this is first cover, second cover. So this is like in line to go on as Eponine. So Eponine, first cover, second cover. So Eponine goes off, say she's on holiday or she's sick, first cover will go on, which means there's a gap here in the show, but we can't have that because it means we're missing someone in the show, because we're missing the person who the first cover Eponine usually played, because that is an ensemble track that needs to be filled. So we have swings. Swings aren't in the show every night. Swings sit in the dressing room, but like during the show. But if you're a female swing, if you're a female swing, you learn all of the female ensemble roles, and if you're a swing, you learn all of the male ensemble roles. So if Eponine goes off, first cover Eponine takes Eponine's place, and then there's a gap in the ensemble where first cover Eponine used to be. So a swing comes on and fills first cover Eponine's ensemble track. And then you have onstage swings, which we had in Addams Family. You don't have onstage swings in this, but you do have onstage Addams Family. Onstage swings are swings who are in the show. And then when someone in the ensemble goes off, the onstage swing has to split tracks because they have their own ensemble track. And then, they have their own ensemble track, and then have to cover somebody else's track. So they'll have to dart around and do 2 different tracks at the same time. I don't think Oliver was an onstage swing. I think he was just a swing in Book of Mormon. I like that. What do I track? Track is the way that I've always thought about explaining tracks is, say, this is the timeline of a show. So you go from start to finish, right? And your track is the part you play from start to end, right? So there's the Wednesday track, and it's what Wednesday does and where she is and where she stands and the line she says and the song she sings from start to finish. So that's the Wednesday track. And then and then there's like the ensemble members all have their own characters, and then they all have their tracks. So a track is basically just the part you play, and like you track that it's basically just the path that character takes through the show. We call it a track. Yeah, like their time. Yeah, exactly, their timeline. You're better explaining this than I am. Scott was a swing when he was in Made in Dagenham. Yeah, Made in Dagenham, but he wasn't a swing in Addams Family. I have never been a swing cover or on stage. I've been very lucky that I've always been a principal. Thank you very much, Travis S. Very, very sweet of you. Yeah, Scott wasn't a swing in Addams Family. He was first cover Fester. Would you take on a role as a swing cover or onstage swing? So this is the thing about theatre. There are people who... It's hard to explain without... I don't know how to explain this. So there are some people that want to play principals, but they get into the ensemble and then sort of work their way up to principal. Like they'll be in like several different shows before they break through into being a principal. There are some people who just want to be in the just want to be in the ensemble because they are really strong dancers or really strong like choral singers, and they like being in the ensemble, which, you know, and I always sort of try to judge the ensemble, because I feel like the people looking in from the outside who don't really know theatre, there's a little bit of stigma with being in the ensemble. It's like, oh, you know, you'll get a principal role one day, but that's not really what theatre's like. Like, there are some people who want to be in the ensemble because they don't want the pressure of being a principal, but they love being in musical theatre. They're effing amazing dancers, and being in the ensemble is exactly what they want to do. But if you want to play a principal, or if you are playing principals and you want to continue playing principals, it wouldn't be a good idea to take anything other than a principal from then on. And it's probably not likely that you would be offered anything other than a principal once you are a principal. Yeah. Yeah. Someone just said sometimes being in the ensemble is harder than being a principal. I wouldn't necessarily agree with, because sometimes, you know, fair enough, the ensemble do more in the show than a principal does. Like, you know, like Wednesday, for instance, she did like this much dancing in the show, whereas the ensemble did like this much dancing in the show. But when it then comes to things like press, it was always me that was called up. As a principal, you end up doing stage and off stage. Then it sort of all balances itself out in the end, because whilst the ensemble might be doing more than a principal does during the show, when it comes to like offstage stuff, like press junkets and interviews and news stuff, the principals will be the ones that are called up to do that. So they'll be the ones trotting off at 5 o'clock in the morning to go be on some interview or performing something or other, whilst the ensemble get to have a lie-in. And there is a huge amount of pressure that comes with being a principal. Like, if Charlie Stemp were to fall over in Half a Sixpence, that might be written about in a newspaper, whereas if an ensemble member fell over, it probably wouldn't be written about in a review or a newspaper. So there's a certain amount of pressure that comes with being a principal and having a profile, because people will be judging you if you're a principal. What's classed as a principal? I don't know if it's an equity rule or what rule it is, but I know that changed a few years ago. And I think a principal is now classed as someone who has a solo song in a show. I know that was the case with Les Mis anyway. Because technically, Cosette and Andras and Madame T aren't considered principals. At least that's what I was told. I could be not right there. Like, for all intents and purposes, they were always like lumped in with the principals. Like, they were always part of the, like, if like after warm up they were like, right, I need the principals, Madame T, Cosette and Andras would always be within that group. But technically they aren't considered principals because they don't have solo songs within the show, which kind of sucks for Cosette, considering she is like a vital part in the show, and she used to have a solo song called I Saw Him Once, which they cut. And I never know why they cut it, because I love that song. Oh. Am I ever going to post a full apartment tour? I will do at some point. I just never get round to it. I'm never home for long enough to have a tidy flat, have time on my hands to do a apartment tour. Someone said Cosette is Castle on a Cloud. Yes, but Castle on a Cloud is sung by young Cosette. And so, within the story, Cosette, the character, does have a song, but Cosette, the adult, does not. Do you think it'd be harder to name your future children because you have had to choose names for your kids? I'll probably just call my kids after my characters. Probably. Young Cosette wouldn't be considered there's always caveats to this rule. I don't even know where this rule came from. I can't even remember where I was told it. Or where it came from. But no, young Cosette would be considered a role because she's on stage for all of the minutes. She wouldn't be considered a principal, sorry, because she's not on stage for long enough. I'd love to play Alphaba one day. One day. Boots. Oh, my red boots are from Fly London. I got them in shoe. Quite random question. What kind of lipstick did Wednesday use, and did it change throughout the tour? It did change throughout the tour, because we started off with one from Freedom. I think it was called Freedom Makeup. Because it was a normal lipstick, it just ended up everywhere. There's a lot of kissing in Addams Family, and it just ended up everywhere. So I was just going through them so much because I was constantly having to top up the lipstick every time I went back to my dressing room. So then we changed to, I can't remember which one it was. We changed to a liquid one, because it stayed on, because it went on liquid and then dried, and was matte. So it was so much easier to keep on. Advice for stage kisses. What do you mean, weren't they stage kisses? There's not really any difference between a stage kiss and a normal kiss. I'm really intrigued by what you mean, weren't they stage kisses? What do you mean by that? Who was it who just asked that? Jemima. What do you mean by weren't they stage kisses? Yeah, someone just said she means there are tricks where you aren't actually touching. Yeah. Yeah, no, where you put your thumb over their lip. No, that doesn't exist in... That's like what you do when you're in school and you don't want to kiss someone because you're 13 and boys are weird. No, it needs to look real. And there's, if you're an actress, that just comes with part of the job. You need to look like you're in in love with someone. And if you kiss them passionately, you have to kiss them passionately. And you're doing it as a character, so it's not like it means anything to you. Like me kissing Ollie was like, it wasn't like me and Ollie kissing, it was Wednesday and Lucas kissing, and Wednesday and Lucas are two 18-year-olds who are like ridiculously, all-consumingly in love with each other. And so they need to kiss like two teenagers who are essentially desperate to have sex with each other. It's like really hormonal kissing. So yeah, it's just, you've just got to think about the characters and what it means to them to kiss that you're kissing. And how you feel about it is put to one side. You know, how you feel about it doesn't matter, because you're not you on stage. You're a character. There's no need to feel stupid at all. I love answering questions like this because theatre is something that I'm really passionate about. So I really enjoy answering questions like that and clearing up any like misconceptions. Do you pick up traits from your characters as you play them so much? Not really, I don't think. I think, thank you very much, Charlie. It's hard. I don't think I pick up traits from the characters, but because you talk about the characters so much during rehearsals and you research them and you figure out why they do certain things and why they did that and why they said that. And I think you sort of discover things along the way about the character that you then start to think about within your own life, and you ask questions about the characters, and then you start asking those questions about yourself as well. And so you become very sort of like introspective about who you are, and you're like, oh, so why did Wednesday say that? Hang on a minute, I've said that before, so why did I say that? And suddenly you start asking like a million questions to yourself, and you sort of become a bit more self-aware, which has an effect on what your personality, I guess. So it's less that I pick up traits from characters and more that I just discover more about myself with every part that I play. I think that's probably the best way to explain it. I was also being really wanky there, so I apologise. Whoa, loads of questions coming through. How do you carry on writing if you think what you wrote before was rubbish? I know that feeling is a difficult feeling. And you sometimes get yourself into like a little writing slump where you're like, everything I write is crap, it's all rubbish, I'm never gonna be any good at this. But you've got to persevere through it, because eventually you will find your groove. Eventually you will find like you'll find sort of like a pattern in a scene, and suddenly you'll feel like what you're writing is quite good, which means then you can go back to what you wrote before that you thought was crap, and either you'll look back at it with like fresh new eyes and go, oh, actually it's not as bad as I thought it was, or you will go, that was complete and utter rubbish, and you'll scrap it and start again from the point that you are at now where you're feeling good about your writing. Or you'll go back and go, okay, that bit was rubbish, but that bit was great, and I'm going to take that bit and work on that for the next 2 hours, and then it will become something that you do like. But the more you write, the better you get at it. So even if you think you're crap now, you've got to keep writing, get better. Thank you very much, one and only Rachel. Very, very sweet of you. How close were you to the stage management team when on tour? Very close. We always used to go out and have drinks, and yeah, and we used to like banter and have fun backstage, and yeah, it was pretty. I mean, they were part of the team. It's easier to be closer to a stage management team on tour because usually you're like staying close together. So even when you go home after work, you're going home with the stage management because they might stay round the corner or live with you. It's hard in normal shows. Have you ever been truly starstruck when you met an actor or an actress? I was quite starstruck when I met Martin Short. I love Martin Short. I love him so much. And when I met him, that was pretty cool. I met him at the Frankenweenie premiere years ago. Oh, Will Smith was really cool as well. I met Will Smith and Alan Menken as well. I know he's not an actor. But yeah, Will Smith was awesome. He was so nice. Like, stupidly nice. He was just like a normal person and treated everyone with the same amount of respect. And was just funny and... oh, he was so cool. I did meet Chloe Moretz. I met Chloe Moretz at a Halloween party, Jonathan Ross's Halloween party, years and years ago. Clang, sorry, name dropping. I was very lucky to go, and I was very excited to go. And I met her, and because she was like dressed up with like face paint on and stuff, I was like, why do I recognise you? And I didn't realise it was her. And I'd come to this Halloween party as Mrs. Lovett from Sweeney Todd. And my costume, I'd made a big box of mince pies. And Moretz really liked my mince pies. Not a euphemism. She really liked my mince pies and called me mince pie girl. It was only until like maybe the third time she called me mince pie girl, I was like, holy crap, you're Chloe Moretz. Alright. Sure. I'll be mince pie girl for Chloe Moretz. Very much, Leisha. Great name. Leisha? I'm going to say. How did you get invited to that party? I went as my ex-boyfriend's plus one. This is the ex-boyfriend that we do not like to talk about. Jonathan Ross's daughter was a fan of some YouTubers, and so Jonathan Ross invited a bunch of those YouTubers to said party. And Alex Day was one of the YouTubers that she enjoyed watching. I think that's the right story. No, I was invited along as a plus one by Alex Day because I was his girlfriend at the time, and I was like, yeah, I'll come to that party. That sounds cool. What part would you love to play but are just not the right casting type for? I'd love to play Nala. That's never going to happen. I'm really white. I'm like so white. Like I can't, like there's no getting away with playing Nala. I am milky bar white. But the song Shadowlands is just one of my favourite songs on the planet. That song makes me happy. I used to listen to the Lion King album, like the Broadway album, so much in the back of my dad's car. And it's just, I love that song. Shadowland, the leaves have fallen. Oh. What are your thoughts on not having white people play black roles? I don't know if I have an opinion on it, if I'm honest. I think there are certain roles, like Hamilton, for instance, where it's just not specified. It's like open. Like the point of Hamilton is that even though those roles are historically white people, the way that it's been written is so that it represents America today. Even though it's telling an old story, the characters have been written and the songs have been written the people of America as it stands, which means anyone can play those roles. Anyone from any ethnicity can walk into that audition and have a shot at playing those roles. Then there are shows like Lion King, where it's... In fact, I don't officially know what the rules are with Lion King, but from the fact that it's been around for so long and only people of colour have played the... I think white guys have played like Timon and Pumbaa and Scar. A white girl has never been like cast as Nala, so I'm assuming that is, you know, those are for people of colour, which I don't really have an opinion on it. I'll be honest. I think that's just, I don't know. Hi, Mum. My mum is watching. Hello. Do I still make origami dragons? Yes, I do. I've made 3 in the Sits probe today. What were your thoughts on Hermione being played by a woman of colour in Cursed Child? I thought that was amazing because, as J.K. Rowling pointed out in the book, it was never specified what skin colour she had. So why wouldn't it be played by a black woman? And even so, even if it had been specified in the book, this is a new adaptation and a new story in this series. So why not change it? Because the colour... I think the way that I think about it is if the colour of someone's skin doesn't tie into the storyline, who it's played by. Like, for instance, if like noughts and crosses was being cast, the colour of their skin ties into the story. Like, that is a story about race. And so those characters have to be played by certain people of certain ethnicities for the story to work. Whereas when it comes to Harry Potter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what race anyone is, because that's not the point. The story isn't anything to do with who and who's white. That's nothing to do with the story. Harry Potter is about a wizard. So it doesn't really matter what colour anyone's skin is. So in that case, I don't care as long as they're good at the job and they're convincing. Thank you very much, Kay Lorraine. I am going to go very soon because I have been here for an hour. Just letting everyone know. It would be amazing if you could do a tour with your solo concert. Do you think that would be possible? Possibly. I'd love for that to happen. I'd love to tour the country. Pardon me, sorry, burping. With my concert, providing that the concerts in April go well. Oh yeah, my tree did turn itself off. Oh, there we go. It's because I pulled the plug out with my foot. Come back to Dublin. Oh, I'd love Dublin. I might do like a little city break next year and come back to Dublin just for a little holiday. I'd love it. I haven't seen the new Star Wars film yet, so don't give me any spoilers, but I think me and my brother are planning to go and see it sometime before we go into Right, one more question and then I'm going to go. One more good question and then I'm going to go. Is that Wednesday's ring? Yes, it is Wednesday's ring. So, I think I told the story in the last live stream, but let's just repeat it again because it's a fun story. In the Addams Family, Wednesday gets engaged to Lucas, and that's pretty much what the whole story. And the ring they originally gave me, which I do have, but not around here. I do have it in the flat though. The ring that they originally gave me was a piece of crap. It turned my finger green. It turned this horrible bronze colour. It just all of the silver, the silver plating over the top just came off, turned my finger green, and what used to be a sparkly silver engagement ring very, very quickly became a piece of tin. And I didn't ask the costume department for a new one, just in case they said, oh, no one will be able to see it from the front row and we're not going to get a new one. So I just went to TK Maxx and bought this one for like 20 quid. And it's made of sterling silver, so I knew that it wouldn't go funny. And I bought it back in Bath, at TK Maxx in Bath, which was like halfway through the first leg of the tour. And it also meant that because I bought it, I didn't feel bad stealing it at the end of the tour. And, I might as well get some use out of it. So, just my ring. And it's just a nice little, because I wore it every day. Obviously, I used to have to wear it on my engagement finger at the end of the show. But then, because it's it falls off that finger. So when I came off stage, I'd instantly put it on that finger whilst I was going back to my dressing room, and then I just forget about it and end up with it on between shows or when I went home. So I've been so used to wearing this ring on my middle finger on my left hand for so long that I just keep it on now. It's just my ring. Okay, right, I'm gonna go. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm gonna be doing more live streams over the next few months, I hope. So see you very soon, and bye.